Okay, what is up YouTube? Lunar here, and today I think I'm going to do a video demonstrating the different things that you can do with text and typeface in Illustrator. So it'll be like a continuation of my last video. You can kind of see here the bowling logo that I made. The last video I started making a bowling team logo, and the next thing I'll need to do to the bowling logo is add text. But before I do that in that video, I would like to talk about text and type in a separate video to kind of explain it more specifically. So let's get started. I'll create a new project and name this type tutorial. Sounds good. I'll keep it 10 by 10. Okay, so first off, the type tool is right here. You got a little T. It says type tool. If you hit T on your keyboard, it'll pull up the hotkey for it, and you'll see I have a different cursor now. So now what I can do with this cursor is I can either click once and it'll open up a little text bar thing like in a Word document, and you can type something. So you can type in like hello there. Okay, so now I have my type. You can make it larger and smaller, make it upside down, you know, kind of thing. You can squish it, which I highly am against. I don't like squish type either top-wise or lengthwise. Okay, so yeah, there's that way to type stuff. If you have T, and you can draw a text box, which is good if you like have a certain area that you want text, because then it'll only fill this box. Like the type won't go outside of the box. So that's good if you have, like, say you're making a brochure and you only need text like at the bottom and you don't need it anywhere else. Well, this is an easy way to keep the text contained within the certain box. Usually I don't use these a lot because I'm not making brochures all the time or like posters, but they are good for that. And if you click and hold, there is a type on a path tool, which I'll show you in a second. There's a vertical type tool, which puts your cursor thing horizontal, and you can type like this. And now you have some vertical text. Say you're making a t-shirt and you need some vertical text for the right or left side. This is a great way to do it pretty easily. What else is there? Vertical area type tool. I don't use that one that much, and I don't really use these that much. Although vertical type on a path, I just assume that on the path that would make that how it is. But let me show you the type on a path tool. First, let me draw a path. And let me get rid of this accidental box. So I'm going to make a circle, and I'm going to put the outline color to be black, and then I'll go over here and select type on a path tool. And what you see now is you see a different cursor, and what you need to do for it to work, you need to click on a path, usually probably a line, so the circle has a line. So I'm going to click on the circle, and you can see the type thing is on there now. So let me just type stuff. And you see that it's going around the circle, so that's pretty useful. Okay, so let me type something that actually says something. So let me just type hello there again, and I'll leave it like that. Okay, so now that you have it on here, you're like, well, what can you do with it now? When you have it on the type on a path tool, you can change the point size. So I'm gonna change 72, make it larger. You can rotate it by rotating the circle like so, but let's say that you can't rotate the circle for whatever reason, like the circle is already part of your design and you don't want to rotate it, or you have an oval. And let me show you what I mean by that. So like, let's say you have an oval and you need it to stay like horizontal like this. I'm gonna go ahead and just copy this, and I'll get my type on a path tool back, and then I'll just paste it. Okay, so let's say that you have the oval and you want to rotate the text to the bottom or the side. Well, if you rotate the oval, it'll change the shape because it's not perfectly round. So what you'll want to do now is you'll want your direct select pointer, and you'll see these two little lines right here. And what it does is it moves the endpoint. So like you can move this one, and if you move it too far, it'll end up cutting off some of the text. Like you see, it didn't turn blue anymore and it's not there. So I'm just going to move it back over here. But what you can do now, if you want this over on the side, you can click and drag, and it'll move your text like so, and it'll keep your oval the correct way that you would like it. So that's a really interesting way to use this stuff if you don't actually want to move, or if you don't want to rotate the oval or square or like circle, whatever you're working with. So that's a cool use for these things, and you'll see they're right here also. And I'm moving it like that. So yeah, you can do it like this. You can rotate the circle, however you want to do it to get your type where you want it. Okay, so now once you have the type on the path selected, there is a there's another set of options that you can choose from. If you go into the type menu right here, you'll see type on a path. You click it, and if you do type on a path options, it'll pull up a little options box. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit preview so you can see what I'm changing. If you flip it, it'll flip the text inside of the circle, and also upside down, it looks like. If the effect rainbow, you can skew it to where it kind of stays up and down. You can 3D ribbon, where that looks kind of weird. Stair step, that looks kind of weird too. I never use these. And then gravity, I don't actually know what gravity does. It looks the exact same. I usually just leave it on rainbow, and a lot of times I'll leave it centered instead of on the baseline, and I can show you why that is also. So let me hit OK. I'll go ahead and move this to the side, make it a little bit smaller, and let me show you I guess the next step would be, like, say you have a circular logo, like that's the center part, and like this is the outer line part, and yeah, so let's center this together. Okay, so I'm gonna make this white so it blends in. So let's say you have your logo right here, and it's like a circular logo. Let's not that one. Let's do a rectangle inside, and let's say I don't know. You have like some square logo that you need to do something, and it's like, oh, you're the squares, whatever. So I'm gonna copy this and move it over here. Yeah, I'm gonna copy this and move it over here to where it's centered with that. I'll make it a little bit larger. So here you can already see what you can do with text and stuff. So you can wrap it around your logo like so. And of course this is a really rough and kind of ugly example, but just imagine, what if you had your logo and it was amazing, you had your little centerpiece object, like, so let's say you were the Ravens for some sports team. You had the Raven in the middle, and you had arching across it like "Go Ravens, go!" exclamation point, or like "Let's go Ravens!" blah blah blah. So yeah, this is one use of this, like in practice. Okay, so let me show you something else you can do. So I'll keep this same square logo thing, and let me create another text thing. I'm gonna keep using hello there just because. Oh man. Oh man. Okay, so let me delete that last space and put that right there. Okay, so you can also like arch text and stuff. If you go into effect with your text selected, you go effect, warp, and then if you go arc, I usually don't like to do mine too much because it does really crazy and that doesn't look very good. So I usually try to keep it like around 25 or so, 26. Okay, so you can arch it, you can arch lower, arch upper. I don't always use all of these. I use the arch a lot, and I use the arc a lot. You can bulge. You got a little flag wave. You got a wave, like rise. That one's kind of weird. Inflate it. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but it looks kind of cool. Yeah, okay, so like you choose arc, and you're like, well, what do I do with this? Oops, I accidentally canceled it. And you're like, what do I do with this now that it's arced? Well, you can arch it across the bottom of your logo like so, and if you want you can also put like a little banner thing behind it, and you can arch this too. Hit OK, move it behind, and like boom, there you go. You have your text over a banner on top of your logo, and it looks super cool. Like now you have the coolest logo ever. So yeah, that's another thing you can do with text. Now I know all of these examples are really rough, and honestly they're kind of ugly from an artist standpoint, but I'm basically showing you what you can do with this tool. Of course, you'll have to go and mess with the tool, and you'll have to go and refine your designs to where they look nice to you. But yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really like the way that looks, but you know, I'm not gonna spend like 5 to 10 minutes of this video like nitpicking my own art. So disclaimer. Anyway, there's only a couple more things I would like to show you, and a couple of them are included in the character palette or the character window. So if you go to window and you hit, it's not on here. Oh wait, no, here it is. Type and then character. It'll pop up that window right there. So if you have this selected, some of the things that I use the most, this button will make all of your text all caps, like so. This button will make the first one big and all the rest like small caps, like so. It's pretty cool. This one, if you want to do like a superscript, it makes it small, and like a subscript will make it small down low. And I use this a lot. I think this is called kerning. But basically it's like the space in between your letters. It kind of makes it look pretty cool. You can space out your letters, give it a nice, modern, simple, sleek look. And you can also scoot them together. Just stuff like that. And this one right here I use a lot. That's if you have like 2 lines of text. I'll just do this is a test. Okay, so now you have this. So if you move these up and down, it'll move the 2 lines closer or farther together. And I held my mouse over this and it said set the leading. So you're messing with the leading right now. So as you can see, I'm like moving them closer together, and if I do it the other way, I'll move them farther apart. I use that a lot too. And if you want, you can also change the point size down here, blah blah blah. So yeah, this is useful. I like the character palette. Simple as that. And if you can select your type on a path, you can also do the stuff with this too. Like you can change it to 200, it'll space out the letters. Cool stuff, cool stuff. So yeah, just a brief rundown of what happened in this tutorial. I showed you about the text tool. I showed you type on a path. I showed you the type effects that you can do under warp, and like a basic example of what these uses can be used for, like on logos, on shirt designs, in brochures, just different things like that. But I think that'll be it for this video. I think I pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover in this text tutorial, and if you stay tuned for next week, you will see me use everything I taught you in this tutorial to add text to my bowling logo. Alright, if you guys have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comment section. I'll answer anything you got, and I'll see you guys in the next one.